Well, this was a big surprise. Black Bag is a brand new 2025 espionage thriller directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett. And I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea what to expect from this movie going in. I've never been a huge connoisseur of Steven Soderbergh films. I've seen a good handful of them. I've enjoyed a good handful of them, but the trailers for this movie just didn't really give me much to go off of. So I went in completely blind on a $5 Tuesday to see this movie because I had nothing else to do. I was shocked by how much I really enjoyed this movie. So let's go ahead on, start with the good. And yeah, there's a lot to really like here. First of all, Michael Fassbender is absolutely fantastic here. He's pretty much the main character. And I've loved Michael Fassbender for years. I loved him as Magneto in the X-Men films. And I've honestly been kind of bummed that he hasn't had much of a career like James McAvoy has outside of the X-Men film. So when I saw that he was the main character in this movie, I said, okay, I'm going to see it just because he's in it. And yeah, I really loved him here. He had a great character arc. I thought that he was a very interesting character. Michael Fassbender just absolutely nails this character. Then you got Cate Blanchett, and she's pretty much the other half of the main characters in this movie. She's married to Michael Fassbender, and Michael Fassbender is having to secretly investigate her because she's suspected of stealing a super weapon. Now, I really liked her character as well, and she had really great chemistry with Michael Fassbender. They work really well as a married couple in this movie. Their chemistry is just absolutely off the charts. Love what they both bring to their roles. Then you got another character in this movie played by Regé-Jean Page, and I've always liked him as an actor. He was easily my favorite part of the Dungeons and Dragons movie from a couple years ago. He didn't have much screen time, but he was really good in that movie, and I really liked him here. In his exchanges with Michael Fassbender, they have really good back and forth with one another. Then the story here is really good. I really did enjoy the more tense espionage type of movie that this was. Now, when people think espionage these days, they think Kingsman, they think James Bond, but old school espionage is really just a lot of talking, and you get information through dialogue. And usually that's not my exact cup of tea, but it was really, really well handled in this movie that I just couldn't help but love every little bit of this movie. Every little bit of dialogue puts a new thought in your head. You think, oh, maybe this is how it's going to go. And then it just goes a completely different way, and you're left questioning what you actually know about this movie. I really loved everything about that. There's a lot of twists and turns in this movie that it's just really timelessly executed. I loved what they did here. The final reveals in the third act are really great. I love how everything just wraps up, and even some plot threads you think are left open-ended, they're still wrapped up just in a more subtle way. I just really love how everything wraps up in this movie, and then the score to this movie really adds to the suspense and the tension of this movie. This is just a really well-crafted movie. Honestly, if I think about it, it's between this and Companion. I can't decide, but this just might be my favorite movie of the year so far. So, yeah, there's no bad sections, so let's go ahead on to the final thoughts. I really loved Black Bag. I did not expect to love it this much, but I just really did have a lot of enjoyment out of this movie. Black Bag is a really well executed espionage thriller with likable characters, great suspense, amazing score, and I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Black Bag. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, what's your favorite Steven Soderbergh movie? I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.